Auto calibration is not enough. So why does your expensive home theater still sound flat, weak, and disappointing after setup? Today I'll show you the 2 hidden AVR settings that unlock truly cinematic sound for free. Like the video and subscribe for honest soundbar reviews that help you buy smarter. Comment. Make sure to tell me what the next video should be about. And check the description for best prices and product links. The large misconception: fixing your bass management. One of the biggest mistakes hiding inside countless home theater systems is a setting that seems completely logical at first glance. You buy a pair of large floor-standing speakers, run your receiver setup process, and notice the receiver has labeled them as large. Most people never question it because it sounds correct. Big speakers should be large speakers, right? The truth is far more interesting. In home theater, the large and small settings have almost nothing to do with the physical size of your speakers. Instead, they control one of the most important functions inside your AV receiver: bass management. And if your system includes a subwoofer, leaving speakers set to large can seriously limit performance. When a speaker is set to large, the receiver sends a full-range audio signal to that speaker. Deep bass, mid-range frequencies, dialogue, sound effects, and treble all get delivered to the same speaker. While high-quality tower speakers can certainly reproduce bass, that doesn't mean they should handle all of it. Movie soundtracks contain enormous amounts of low-frequency energy that are specifically designed to be handled by a dedicated subwoofer. Think of your home theater like a professional sports team. Your main speakers are elite sprinters. They excel at speed, detail, accuracy, and precision. Your subwoofer is a heavyweight powerlifter. Its entire purpose is generating powerful low frequencies with authority and control. When you force your main speakers to reproduce deep bass, you're essentially asking your sprinters to compete in a powerlifting competition. They can try, but they're no longer performing at their best. This creates a chain reaction of problems throughout the system. The speaker drivers must work harder to reproduce powerful bass while simultaneously reproducing delicate dialogue and subtle details. As a result, voices can lose clarity, sound effects become less defined, and the entire soundstage begins to feel congested. Instead of hearing clean separation between sounds, everything starts blending together. Meanwhile, your expensive subwoofer is sitting in the corner underutilized. It's only handling the dedicated LFE channel for movie soundtracks, while much of the bass remains trapped inside the main speakers. You're essentially paying for a specialist and then giving it only a fraction of the workload. The solution is surprisingly simple. Go into your AV receiver's speaker configuration menu and change every speaker to small. Yes, even large tower speakers. Yes, even premium high-end towers. The moment you do this, the receiver activates proper bass management and begins redirecting low-frequency information to the subwoofer. This is where the crossover setting becomes important. The crossover acts as a traffic controller between your speakers and subwoofer. Frequencies above the crossover remain with the speakers, while frequencies below the crossover are redirected to the subwoofer. This creates a seamless handoff between components and allows every speaker to focus on what it does best. For most home theater systems, the industry standard starting point is 80 Hz. This recommendation comes directly from THX and has remained one of the most trusted crossover values in the industry for decades. Bass below roughly 80 Hz becomes very difficult for our ears to localize, meaning the subwoofer can reproduce those frequencies without drawing attention to its physical location. Setting the crossover too high can make bass sound disconnected from the screen. Deep voices may appear to come from the subwoofer itself rather than the actors on screen. Setting it too low can create gaps in the frequency response where important audio information gets lost. This is why 80 Hz remains the sweet spot for most systems. Open your receiver menu and review the crossover settings. If your auto calibration assigned wildly different crossover values, try setting every speaker to 80 Hz as a starting point. If you're using very small satellite speakers, you may need 100 Hz or 120 Hz. But for most bookshelf and tower speakers, 80 Hz is an excellent foundation. While you're in the menu, verify that LPF for LFE is set to 120 Hz. This ensures your subwoofer receives the complete low-frequency effects channel from movie soundtracks. Also, check the subwoofer mode and make sure it is set to LFE rather than LFE plus main. The LFE plus main option often duplicates bass frequencies and can create bloated, muddy, and uncontrolled bass performance. Once these changes are complete, your entire system becomes more efficient. Dialogue becomes clearer, bass becomes tighter and more impactful. The soundstage opens up, and perhaps most importantly, every component begins performing the job it was designed to do. Section 2. The helpful features that can hurt, unlocking your sound. Now that you've optimized bass management, there's another group of settings that often holds home theaters back. Ironically, these features were designed to improve the listening experience. Yet in many cases, they end up doing exactly the opposite. Most modern receivers include processing features such as dynamic EQ, dynamic volume, DRC, night mode, YPAO volume, or similar technologies. The names vary depending on the manufacturer, but the goal is usually the same. Automatically modify the soundtrack based on listening conditions. At first glance, these features sound useful. Dynamic volume attempts to prevent sudden jumps in volume by making loud sounds quieter and quiet sounds louder. Night mode helps prevent explosions from waking up the entire house. Dynamic EQ boosts bass and surround channels when listening at lower volumes. The problem is that all of these features alter the original soundtrack. They make decisions on your behalf about how the movie should sound. Sometimes those decisions help, but other times, they remove the very qualities that make home theater exciting in the first place. One of the most important elements of cinematic audio is dynamic range. Dynamic range is the difference between the quietest and loudest moments in a movie. A whisper should feel intimate. A massive explosion should feel powerful. The contrast between those extremes creates tension, excitement, and emotional impact. When dynamic volume or DRC is enabled, that contrast gets compressed. Explosions lose impact. Action scenes feel less intense. Everything starts sounding similar in volume. The soundtrack becomes safer, but it also becomes less engaging. Dynamic EQ introduces a different issue. It continuously boosts bass and surround channels as listening volume decreases. While the theory behind it is based on legitimate hearing science, the implementation can sometimes be overly aggressive. Some systems end up sounding bloated, bass-heavy, or artificially exaggerated. Instead of feeling immersed in the movie, you become aware of the processing itself. Surround effects may feel too obvious. Bass may feel inflated. The soundtrack begins sounding less natural and more manipulated. Even room correction systems can occasionally overcorrect. Automatic EQ is incredibly useful for fixing acoustic problems, especially in lower frequencies where room interactions are strongest. However, some systems apply heavy correction all the way through the upper mid-range and treble. In certain rooms, this can alter the natural character of your speakers and make them sound less authentic. The best approach is to let the room correction address major acoustic issues while preserving the natural voicing of your speakers whenever possible. Many advanced room correction systems and companion apps allow you to limit EQ correction to lower frequencies where room problems are most severe. Now it's time for the final optimization. Open your receiver's audio menu and locate dynamic volume, DRC, night mode, or similar settings. Disable them for normal movie watching. Save them only for situations where you genuinely need reduced volume. Next, locate dynamic EQ and try turning it off. Then play a familiar movie scene. Listen carefully. You may notice cleaner bass, more natural surround effects, and a soundtrack that feels more balanced overall. After that, review your room correction settings if your receiver allows it. Consider limiting correction to lower frequencies while preserving the natural character of your speakers in the mid-range and treble. This often delivers a more realistic and engaging listening experience. Finally, trust your ears. Calibration systems provide an excellent starting point, but they aren't infallible. Many enthusiasts find that raising the center channel by 1 to 3 decibels dramatically improves dialogue clarity without introducing unwanted processing. When these adjustments come together, the transformation can be remarkable. The soundtrack breathes again. Quiet moments become more emotional. Loud moments regain their power. The system stops sounding processed and starts sounding cinematic. The final conclusion: in just a few minutes, you've addressed 2 of the most important settings inside any home theater system. First, you fixed the large speaker misconception by activating proper bass management, setting speakers to small, and allowing the subwoofer to handle the frequencies it was designed to reproduce. Second, you removed unnecessary processing that may have been flattening dynamics exaggerating bass, and altering the original soundtrack. By disabling those features and reviewing your EQ settings, you've taken control of the listening experience instead of letting the receiver make every decision for you. The best part is that none of these improvements required spending money. No new speakers, no new amplifier, no expensive cables. Just smarter settings and a better understanding of how your system actually works. The results can feel like a major hardware upgrade. Dialogue becomes clearer, bass becomes tighter, sound effects become more precise, movies become more immersive, and all of that performance was already hiding inside the equipment you own. Now it's your turn. Make these changes and tell me what happened. Which adjustment made the biggest difference in your system? Was it finally setting your speakers to small and unlocking proper bass management? Or was it disabling dynamic EQ and dynamic volume and hearing your system come alive? If this guide helped improve your home theater, hit the like button and share your experience in the comments. And if you want more practical AVR tips, Dolby Atmos setup guides, soundbar optimization tutorials, and home theater upgrades that actually make a difference, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the incredible sound your system was always capable of delivering.